The following podcast contains mature subject matter, adult themes, and may also contain profanity. You have been warned.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Welcome to The Absurd, our podcast about things that are absurd histories and mysteries and strange goings on. Stories that are funny, freaky, and sometimes frightening. Today's show is brought to you by the letter M. M for Mel.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Hi, Mel.
Hi, Rod. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good.
Good. Did you have a good Easter weekend?
I did.
Did you?
It was very busy.
Was it?
But, good busy.
Did you have ham?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you go to your in-laws?
We did.
Was it a good time? Was it good food?
That's where the ham was.
Yeah. I went to my brother's place Saturday night, and my awesome sister-in-law, she made a ham for everybody, but she knows I don't really like ham. Like, I don't refuse to eat it, but I'm not into it.
Mm-hmm.
She made me lamb chops.
Ooh.
I know.
Yum.
Me love
Way
lamb.
better.
Way better.
Way better.
But all kinds of other people there ate them. The guy got some. I got a chop, but I would have liked about 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Saturday
I
night.
don't really care for ham.
No, like,
Unless,
I don't hate
like
it.
a really good ham.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I can handle it.
But isn't that kind of like saying, I don't know, a really good enema? No, it's not quite that bad, I guess. Like, I don't mind a ham sandwich. Ham and mustard on good bread.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I could get
Bit of
behind
cheese
that.
on there.
Yeah.
I'm not against it.
No.
But I've never cooked a ham in my life.
No?
Never. Never will. Well, I shouldn't say that. I guess you can never say never, can you?
Never say never.
Never say never. Did I just make that up?
You did.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you should patent that.
I will.
Get on it.
Can't patent. It's got to be copyrighted.
Wow, whatever.
You, whatever. Did you watch the Leafs Senators game Sunday night?
Sure did.
Damn right.
Yeah, I did.
It was awesome, man.
Yes, it was.
I was at Piper's. Of course I was.
Yes.
And my usual table.
Yeah. Was it loud?
It was loud.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was fantastic, man. It was a good, rough game. Just how Rod likes it. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude.
Anyways, enough about your personal life.
Ooh.
Yeah. You're going there tonight, I'm assuming.
I am. What do you mean I'm going? You're going too,
Well,
sister.
I mean, you have your table
Yeah.
booked and...
Actually, this time, besides my little friend,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
My brother is going to come, and my nephew.
Oh, look at that.
I think you might have met my nephew.
I know your nephew.
Ooh, really? What's his name?
We're besties.
You're not. You don't even know his name. But you will. You've met him before, I think, at a Sugar King game.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it because my brother doesn't go out much, so I'm quite pleased to have him going out, you know?
Awesome.
Do you have any news you need to share, want to share?
No, but I think you do.
What? Yeah, but you don't have nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. So I got a couple things. First things first, a correction I wish to make. I don't even remember what we were or why we were talking about it, like which of our stories. But I went on a bit of a rant about AI and, you know, how potentially dangerous it is if Hollywood has taught me anything.
Yes.
And it has. And how I mentioned that it's been suggested that robots be given like a morality code. One of those rules would be you cannot kill a human. All right. I couldn't remember on the run or on the fly who it was who came up with that, and I think I said Carl Sagan. But friend of the show and very avid faithful listener Jessica, she contacted me to say that it was in fact Isaac Asimov who formulated the idea of a set of rules about robots. And as soon as she said, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. So I'm going to buy her...
So you were wrong.
I was completely wrong.
Okay.
I'm going to buy her a Fun Dip. Speaking of which, you still owe me a Fun Dip, and everybody who listens to this show can testify to that effect.
Right.
You were going to get me a triple one, too, with three crystal-y things.
I will.
And two
Just be patient.
sucky sticks.
Two sucky sticks.
I don't know what they're called.
Lick a stick.
Oh, yeah. Big difference.
Sucky stick or lick a stick?
Yeah. I'm starting to get a bit excited.
Yeah.
Never mind. But also, I have something else to talk. Do you like Doritos?
Yeah, they're all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you were with me at Dollarama last week when I bought the Magic Masala Doritos.
Yes, I remember.
Dude, they are over the top.
Really?
I'm not necessarily saying they're good. They're not bad. Like, I'd get them again, but they are crazy intense.
Like lots of flavor?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, I can't do that. That's disgusting. And they're, I wouldn't say they're hot. They're hot like Indian food is. Like, not like Frank's hot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it builds up on you until you want to pull your own tongue out, sort of thing.
I do. They sound great.
You should try them. I'm going to buy you a bag. Your birthday is not for a long time.
Not for a long time.
I don't need a reason.
No.
I'll just buy them for you.
Yeah.
And then you can have
Gosh.
them and love them. I think that's about it to roll here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you got a story for us, eh?
Yes. I actually have a collection of a few.
I like a collection.
They are just stories that I've heard over time that aren't really long enough for a full, in-depth story. So
I dig.
I'm going to chat about some of those things that I found.
Bring it.
First one we're going to talk about is ketchup.
Ketchup like catsup?
Like catsup.
You don't like ketchup. Is it you who doesn't like ketchup?
Hate ketchup.
I love it.
It's disgusting.
On poutine. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
See,
Give us a look.
it hurts my soul. Anyways,
Good.
do you know that ketchup was once used as medicine?
No, but I can imagine.
Really?
No, I don't know. It is pretty wonderful.
No, it's probably not the same ketchup that we have now because, I'm not sure how much tomatoes actually in ketchup now. But anyways, first ingredients, most likely sugar.
Actually, if you're in the States, it's probably, what do they call that evil stuff?
Aspartame?
No, fructose.
Oh,
Corn
fructose.
syrup. Corn syrup.
Sucralose and all that.
That's different. But everything in
Gross
the States
stuff.
is loaded with corn syrup.
Yeah.
Corn syrup? Is that what I mean? I don't know. Anyway, bring it home
Okay.
about ketchup. I love ketchup.
Dr. John Cook Bennett created a ketchup recipe in 1834. He claimed his recipe cured diarrhea, jaundice, indigestion, and rheumatism.
Wow.
He made his recipe into pills, but copycats quickly sold their own tomato-based cure-alls. This eventually erupted in a ketchup war. Can you imagine that? An actual physical ketchup war?
I like the idea of it. Quick, bring the Heinz around to the left. Head up for the Frenches up in the trees.
And like a Nerf gun?
Ooh,
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Anyways. Fakers just used laxatives without a trace of tomatoes.
Well, how does that cure diarrhea?
Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't that going the other way?
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah.
And claimed that they cured scurvy and mended bones, causing the ketchup medicine empire to collapse by 1850.
Well, scurvy it would.
What?
It would cure scurvy. Like today's ketchup would cure scurvy.
You think so?
Yeah, because scurvy's a vitamin C deficiency. I'm pretty sure tomatoes have vitamin C.
Yeah, I think you need a whole lot more than that.
So much better, man.
But there is some truth to Dr. Bennett's health claims, because tomatoes are a great source of vitamins, as you just said, and antioxidants. Ketchup today can be found in 97% of homes.
Really, eh? I wonder, that's got to be in the States, or North America anyway.
Anyways.
What was the last line there?
That there were some health claims that tomatoes are a great source of vitamins and antioxidants.
Antioxidants.
Yes.
So I understand, though, that's when you cook them. So like tomato sauce, ketchups, like if you did a homemade ketchup, chili sauce, I guess, tomatoes, that's when it's really good for you.
Right.
When they're cooked.
I love me some like tomato juice.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Do you? If we're ever out and you want to be entertained,
Yes.
give me a glass of tomato juice.
Really? What's going to happen?
I'm not allergic or anything, but it's like a non, what do you call the like reaction? I can't do it. I have to do it. My face contorts.
Oh, really?
It twists up, and I can't stop it. Like I can't do anything about it.
Okay, now we need to do this.
Yeah. Okay, whatever. Not a Piper's. Sorry, go on.
That's
My
awesome.
apologies.
Anyway, that was my ketchup story.
Cool,
that
cool.
I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard? Now, this is called knocker-uppers.
Golly.
Knocker-uppers
Mm-hmm.
were individuals, primarily in Britain and Ireland during the Industrial Revolution,
Okay.
who woke people up for work by knocking on windows or doors using sticks, rattles, or other devices.
It's like a pre-industrial wake-up call.
You got it.
That's pretty sweet.
They served as a form of a human alarm clock before the widespread availability of affordable and reliable mechanical alarm clocks.
Sure.
They used various implements to wake people, including long sticks, soft hammers, rattles.
Huh.
I just picture somebody outside with a
What's
rattle.
a soft hammer?
I don't know. Like a mallet?
Yes.
Or even pea shooters.
Oh, I like that.
They were particularly common in industrial towns and cities where factory work was widespread. By the 1940s and 50s, this profession had more or less entirely died out,
Yeah.
although it still continued in some pockets of industrial England until the early 1970s.
Wonder when the first alarm clock was invented.
I don't know. Echo.
Echo. When was the first alarm clock invented?
The ancient Greek philosopher Plato was said to possess a large water clock with an unspecified alarm signal similar to the sound of a water organ. He used it at night, possibly for signaling the beginning of his lectures at dawn. The Hellenistic engineer and inventor Ctesibius fitted his clepsydras with dial and pointer for indicating the time, and added elaborate alarm systems, which could be made to drop bombs or blow trumpets at preset times.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Wasn't really the answer I was
No.
expecting. Fine, go on.
Okay.
Thanks, Echo.
Yeah. Anywho, that's that.
Okay.
What's your favorite chocolate bar?
Wonder Bar.
Wonder Bar.
Hands down.
How do you feel about a Three Musketeers?
Well, I would eat them like in a second. It's
so
not one of
good.
my favorite though.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
They're like the what's the dollar store version?
I don't know. But I like the Canadian one that they don't make anymore.
Which?
Malted milk.
Oh yeah.
That was way better.
That was good.
Yeah, by the way, Sab loves Three Musketeers.
I do too.
Well, there you go.
So good. Anyways, so the Three Musketeers chocolate bar was the third product released by Mars in 1932, following M&M's and the Mars bar. However, back then, when you purchased a Three Musketeers bar, you didn't get one long piece. You received 3 smaller bite-sized pieces.
Huh.
In fact, that's where the name came from. 3 pieces
right.
for Three Musketeers. These 3 pieces were flavored vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry.
Oh, wow.
During World War II, with the rising costs and restrictions, Three Musketeers transformed into a bar that we know and love today. Previously known as a bar that could be shared with 2 of your closest friends. Due to sugar rations, 2 of the 3 flavors were discontinued. It was simply too expensive to produce all 3 flavors. Soon, only the chocolate bars remained. Not to mention, this was the most popular flavor, so chocolate remained. Regardless of the change and reduction of flavors, Three Musketeers was still the most popular candy bar during the war. Back then, a bar cost 5 cents, which would be equivalent to $1 today.
Whoa, they're actually cheaper then. Even accounting for inflation.
Even though the bar has been around for several decades, the recipe is still the same, meaning this candy bar is original in every sense of the word. A big component of the famous candy bar is nougat. Nougat was often chosen to be used in candy bars due to its similarity in consistency and flavor to ice cream. It was quite common and popular to freeze nougat-based candy bars in order to mimic ice cream when eaten. That last part of this article said if you haven't tried this yet, we highly recommend placing your Three Musketeers bar in the freezer.
Been there.
Yeah? I've never tried it.
Actually, I usually put my chocolate bars in the fridge, but you probably still buy them, but like the bite size, like Three Musketeers or
Yeah,
Mars, and a bag of them. My mother used to buy those when we were kids and put them in the freezer. They're fantastic. Like, don't try to take it out and bite into it. You'll be going dentist town. But
I want to try it because I don't like cold chocolate.
no,
No, I do not at all. But I feel like with the inside of this bar, it would probably be really good.
they are good. And I got to say, too, I wouldn't mind trying a strawberry Three Musketeers. I'd be behind that.
They have come out with other flavors since.
Really?
Like kind of a special one-off
I didn't know
thing.
that.
So
I never look at Three Musketeers.
probably some of those fancy candy stores that we go to, they might
Yeah.
end up with them once in a while.
Like midnight snack.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have one more.
Lay it. Let's hear it.
Chainsaws.
Ooh,
Interesting.
indeed.
Do you know they were originally invented for childbirth?
I'd have come across that. How does that make you feel?
Not well. Not well.
You have to gun her a little bit more there, Fred.
Uh-huh.
Oh, baby's almost out.
Oh, God.
Go on.
Anyways. It was to use to facilitate a procedure called okay, let me try this again.
Sure.
Specifically to facilitate a procedure called symphysiotomy.
Ooh, well done, you. I have no idea if it's right, but it sounds awesome.
This procedure involved cutting through the pubic cartilage to widen the pelvic opening, allowing for easier delivery when the baby was stuck in the birth canal.
Well,
Scottish doctors John Atkin, not to be confused with Atkin Diet, and James
I hadn't even made
Jeffrey
that connection, but thank God.
designed a hand-cranked, flexible saw. Everything about this just doesn't sound good. In the late 18th century. This chainsaw was considered a significant medical breakthrough, particularly during a time when anesthesia was not widely available. The tool was later adapted for other surgeries, and eventually found its way into woodworking, where it evolved into the chainsaw we know today.
I get it. Now I get the chain. Now I get why he has the chain.
Why?
Well, to drive the blade around, right? And if you're hand cranking it, now I don't know, for some reason I can visualize it better now. Man, no wonder so many women died in childbirth.
Yeah, you think?
Jesus.
All without any sort of painkiller.
Yeah.
Just
Okay,
hang on.
get the cutting torch.
Yeah.
You know. No, man, that's no good. That sounds terrifying.
That sounds awful. Yeah, no,
this
thank you.
This doesn't sound like a picnic either.
No.
Yeah, cool, man. Medical chainsaws.
So there you go.
Yeah, there I go.
Chainsaws. Very...
Boy, am I ever glad I don't have a uterus. Yeah. Yeah.
If I had a choice, I wouldn't have one either. But
well, you don't have a choice, so deal with it.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, do you like a little bit of murder?
I do.
Yeah.
As long as it's not me or anyone I know.
Yeah, or are you killing
Or-
someone?
You know.
Well.
Depends on the day.
And some of the people listening will unquestionably know about this incident.
Okay.
All right. So, this woman's name, young woman, named Elisa Lam, Lam, was a Canadian woman born on April 30th, 1991 in Vancouver to two immigrants from Hong Kong. She grew up interested in fashion. Once she was old enough, she enrolled in the University of British Columbia. By 2010, she had started her own blog. It partly documented fashionable models and clothing, and also documented aspects of her own life that she felt like sharing. In January 2012, she began posting about how a personal relapse had forced her to withdraw from courses that semester. The post was titled, "You're always haunted by the idea you're wasting your life." This is a quote from novelist Chuck Palahniuk. Let's try that again. This is a quote from novelist Chuck Palahniuk. That sounds awesome. That would become the epigraph of that blog and another she would start a few months later. It was revealed that she suffered from bipolar disorder and depression. The relapse she mentioned in her blog may have been related to her condition. By the next January, Lam was still not enrolled in classes again. and she decided that she would take a trip to Los Angeles. She arrived in Los Angeles on January 26 after traveling on Amtrak trains and inner-city buses. Lamb spent her time in Los Angeles staying at the Cecil Hotel. Ever heard of it? Mm-hmm. There you go. An establishment with a notorious history. The hotel was the site of several deaths and potential murders since its founding in 1927. It was even a base for infamous serial killer Richard Ramirez, also known as the Night Stalker. Know him? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is a piece of shit. Located in the Skid Row area of Los Angeles, an area infamous for its derelict population and criminal activity, the Cecil had earned a reputation for attracting a mix of transient individuals, tourists, and individuals seeking affordable accommodations. It was an easily accessible location for a poor college student to stay, which is why Lamb chose there as her destination. Little did she know that she would contribute to the dark legacy of the hotel herself. Her odd behavior intrigued everyone who saw the clip and made the mystery of her disappearance famous. Shortly after the footage was released, the hotel staff began to receive complaints about the hotel's water. Let me just interject here. So she was seen getting onto an elevator, okay?
Yep.
Through like CCTV.
Yep.
And it looks like she's talking to someone in the elevator. Mm-hmm. But have you heard of this case now? Do you remember it?
Yeah,
okay.
I watched the documentary on Netflix.
Okay, so correct me if I say anything that's off base. It looks like she's talking to someone, but they've never able to determine if that's even the case.
Right.
And if so, certainly not who it was.
Right.
Okay. So she disappeared. Mm-hmm. Right. But nobody really knows anything yet. Mm-hmm. Multiple guests complained about low water pressure and an odd taste, so hotel maintenance made their way to the 4 rooftop reservoirs. Within one of them, they found the drowned, lifeless body of Elisa Lamb. The autopsy report provided some answers, yet it also deepened the mystery. Elisa Lamb's cause of death was officially listed as an accidental drowning.
Sure it was.
With her bipolar disorder cited as a significant factor. The drug toxicology report made it clear she had been neglecting to take her bipolar medication, lending credit to the theory she was having a psychotic break in the elevator. However, the autopsy report did not fully quell the speculation and conspiracy theories that began to circulate. With the footage making it seem like she was fleeing someone and the hotel's location in Skid Row, the general public began theorizing what could have happened to Lamb. Although the case was closed, the general public still feel entitled to contribute their theories, even though they lack the details of the case which could contradict many of their ideas. Now, in response to their conclusion about her accidentally drowning, your tone suggested that you do not buy that theory.
Absolutely not.
Right, because if memory serves, there's no way she could have opened the lid of the reservoir and gotten into it and then had closed it.
Right.
I've got to think that, and they're calling the case closed. Mm-hmm. Even though, I mean, it's pretty obvious, I think, that it's foul play.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But given where it happened, maybe the cops are like, meh, cares, whatever, you know.
Sure.
Well,
and I know people who are bipolar.
Yeah.
And who are on bipolar medication.
And it can be pretty serious, dude.
It can be,
yep.
But to do something like that is not. It's not something that they would do. Like, bipolar has a whole slew of different things that come with it. But
right.
That part of it, I don't, and I could be wrong, but my understanding is like any sort of suicidal tendencies or anything like that doesn't really fall under the bipolar.
Well, let me play devil's advocate here for a second. Are they saying that it was suicide? Saying she had a psychotic break associated with her bipolar.
Right.
Well, she, in her psych, if she was being chased, did she think she could hide in there? I don't know. It does say she also suffered from depression.
Right.
So I don't know what that in conjunction with bipolar
Sure.
can do to you. No idea. But I also don't buy the conclusion that she drowned.
No.
Because
A
there's
lot
so
of sketchy stuff went on in that hotel.
well, yeah, totally. And again, she was a pretty slight person, you know. And I don't know how many times I've read like there was just no way that she could have gotten into this reservoir by herself.
No.
Now I'm avoiding the elephant in the room, as it were. Oh, that was a terrible elephant sound.
That was horrible.
Yeah, what was that anyway?
Sound like a sick cat.
Okay, well, we've been ignoring the sick cat in the room here. Can you imagine being at this hotel? Never mind showering, but, you know, getting a glass of water. That water seems a bit gamey.
Yuck.
You know, and then you find out. Like, I'd actually rather not find out.
Because that, like, not even that. It's going through all the pipes. So
course.
if there's any food being cooked in there, anything at all, you're...
Well, if it was food being cooked, I mean, I wouldn't be okay with that either. But at least you're probably hitting a cooking temperature that's going to kill whatever's in it. But hauling a glass of water out of the tap and going, oh, what's with that huge of it?
God.
You know, there's no way I wouldn't have like retroactive PTSD or something.
In your ice.
Well, that's something to think about. Yeah, that bacteria would be dormant while it was frozen.
Yeah.
And it would come to life in your drink. So yeah, that's
delicious.
That's Elisa Lam, Canadian young woman who, I believe in our opinion, was murdered.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good documentary on Netflix if you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
You should.
Maybe I will. You got a story for us?
Oh, yeah, I got another one.
Oh, yeah, bring it. I love stories. Of course I do, don't you?
Well, are you in luck? All right.
Look.
All families have their own quirks and habits.
True.
But one group of relatives has such a unique trait that scientists have branded them a total anomaly of the human species.
Wow.
The Ulas family has been the subject of fascination for years after they were discovered in a remote village in Turkey walking on all fours. Back in the early 2000s, a scientific paper was published on 5 of the Ulas siblings and their strange bear crawl-like movements. You okay? Oh, I thought you were going to interject.
No, I'm just thinking out loud. Sorry.
In the years following the paper's publication, evolutionary psychologist Professor Nicholas Humphrey of the London School of Economics traveled to Turkey to meet with the extraordinary family.
Evolutionary psychologist.
Yeah,
that sounds like a cool gig,
Yeah,
man.
figure that one out.
I have.
The Ulas mother and father had a staggering 18 children.
Bloody hell.
However, of these, only 6 were born with quadruplism, walking on all fours.
Oh, so this is like a physical abnormality.
Yes.
Interesting.
Which is never seen before in modern adult humans.
Like, wow, really? Mm-hmm. And they've got 6 of them.
Yes.
Dang.
The thing which marks us off from the rest of the animal world is the fact that we're the species which walks on legs and holds our heads high in the air, he added.
Walking upright.
Of course, it's language and all other sorts of things too, but it's terribly important to our sense of ourselves as being different from others in the animal kingdom. These people cross that boundary. And yet no one has figured out the precise cause of this strange walking style. While some experts have suggested that it's caused by a genetic problem, others have rejected the idea that there's a specific gene for upright walking and suggested something else is at play. Humphrey pointed out that the affected siblings, 5 of whom are still alive and aged between 22 and 38, all suffer from a particular form of brain damage. Eulas's form of quadruplism differs from that seen in the closest animal relatives, chimpanzees and gorillas, in one key way. While these primates walk on their knuckles, the Turkish children use the palms of their hands, putting their weight on their wrists while lifting their fingers off the ground.
How hard is that?
That would be hard.
Yeah, I was just trying to do that, actually.
In the Turkish village where they grew up, There was no local health service, obviously, to help the disabled kids make the transition from crawling as babies on hands and knees to walking fully upright. Humphrey told 60 Minutes that he provided the Eulasses with a walking frame, and within a few hours, there was an astonishing transformation. The children who had never taken a step upright on 2 legs used this frame to walk across the room with such delight in their faces and a sense of achievement, he recalled, adding that it was as if they had suddenly made a breakthrough into the world they had never imagined they could ever enter.
Huh.
He said that seeing their enthusiasm to walk upright with the help of physiotherapists gave him a renewed respect for the human spirit. He said it helped to see them how... He said it helped him to see how human beings in the most disadvantaged circumstances can triumph over their adversity, no matter what they have to do to maintain their pride and the sense of themselves. So there was a whole video of these this family that I watched.
Yeah.
And they were, it was more like on the ball of their hand that they were walking on, and just
hurt.
like, and they were kind of like, one of them showed them like galloping a little bit.
Really?
And I'm like, that's impressive.
Did the parents or anything like throw a frisbee for them to like run and catch? Or
Not that I saw.
Sorry.
That might be a little offside, but you know, you never know.
I like
They got to
frisbee.
play somehow.
But that's interesting. So as soon as they were given this, what's essentially a walker.
Yeah, it's like what they use at physiotherapist's office, where it's got the 2 bars
Oh, yeah, okay.
that they hang on each side, and they're just walking along.
Oh, I see, okay.
And yeah.
So this is obviously relatively current, yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was only a few years ago.
That's weird, man. Yeah, because it's like, remember I did the story about the young girl, was it in Poland or Ukraine, who was raised by dogs.
Yes.
And she ran on all 4s.
Yes.
Not on her knees, though.
No.
Like on her feet with her butt high in the air.
Yes.
But, well, I mean, our bodies aren't built for that.
No, and that's how these people were walking too.
Yeah, we're not built for it. So, I mean,
But then it just makes me wonder, like, as parents, that the parents walk upright. Do you never...
emulate their parents, you mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
well, I was thinking
most,
that too.
Most parents, you know, your kids start crawling and then you stand them up and help them walk.
Right.
Like, did they just not give a shit?
I don't know, because most kids, I mean, you learn by watching.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part, and emulating what what you're doing. I always wondered, maybe you know the answer to this, and I don't mean this to be morbid, but are babies, are they aware of heights? Like, for example, would a baby just crawl off a cliff and fall?
Probably.
Really?
Yeah, they probably would. They're not that bright.
I was going to say, they're not very smart, are they?
No, they're not.
So if they were, like, on a table, crawling, and they got to the edge...
They probably just keep going.
I got to admire their sense of purpose.
That's why you always see, like, parents, you know, a kid's walking by the pool, and they run over to stop the kid, because the kid's just going to go right on in. They have no idea.
No, I get that, but that's a little bit different, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know
I'm just
either.
thinking of stepping into danger, like whether it's a pool or a cliff or off a table. Or
if a kid saw a candle, I guess some kids would just stick their finger in the fire.
because it's just morbid curiosity of what it is, so
No,
they're gonna
and
touch it.
Not even morbid on their part, because they're like, oh, what's that? That looks cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet you they don't do it again.
No, probably not.
Right, because their brain's like, oh, yeah, that thing we just did, let's not do that again.
Yeah, it's like putting your hands on the stove.
Right.
It's like, well, you do it once, you're going to find out.
Yeah. Have you ever accidentally forgot to put an oven mitt on?
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Pretty sure everybody's had that moment.
It sucks hard. Yeah. Pay attention. That's cool, man. I look forward to seeing some pics and vids of
Oh,
that.
yeah, there was lots of pictures.
And I noticed you pronounce it Turkey and not Turkia.
No.
Yeah, that's all right. That's how they pronounce it.
Yeah, whatever.
Turkiye, which to me should be Turkaya. But anyway. Hey, I got sent a story idea.
Oh, did you?
Indeed, I did.
Give it to me.
This is from my friend Scott, who lives in South Korea.
Ah.
and
Yes.
has since, as you may know, Scott is not a Korean name
Right.
because he is, I believe he is of Scottish background, but he's from Milton, Ontario.
Right.
And I went to university with him, lived in the same house. Good guy. I think he's been in Korea since 04, 05, somewhere in there. So he sent me this, and he also sent me a bit of his. Well, he didn't send me this. He sent me a link to the article, but then he also explains a little bit of his own experience with this.
Okay.
This is called. Well, the title of the article is "Beware the Poop Needle."
Okay.
Okay, that's this writer's travel advice to anyone heading to South Korea. Dong Chim, which translates as poop needle in Korean, is a popular prank that involves using your index fingers to poke someone between their bum cheeks with as much force as you can muster. Yeah. No shit. The game is so popular that there is even a statue in its honor in South Korea. The bizarre hobby is practiced by children of all ages across South Korea and is treated by adults as a perfectly normal prank. You can walk ahead of me when we leave here. In fact, when one Korean town wanted to build a statue of two youngsters frolicking by the ocean, they decided one child should be jabbing the other in the bottom. And you won't find a foreigner working in a school there who doesn't have a tale of sneak attacks by eerily accurate fingers. A kind of souped-up version of the wedgie, the game is believed to have originated in Japan, where its name kancho translates as enema. While in Taiwan, they call it, Qianyan Sha, after a bum-prodding ninja move from the popular Naruto anime cartoon. I don't know it.
Boy.
Stranger still, in 2001, a South Korean game developer created an arcade machine for the Japanese market based around the prank. I don't want to play that. Called Bunga Bunga. The aim of the game is to gain maximum points by plunging a plastic finger into a bum as hard as possible. Okay, I retract that. I kind of want to see this game. Not gonna lie. Yeah, so keep your eyes peeled and your cracks covered. Yeah. Okay, so that's the article, but here's what my friend Scott sent me. So he confirmed that's translated as poop needle, whereas the article compared it to like a souped-up wedgie. He said it's like the Korean equivalent of a wet willy or a purple nurple. Remember?
What?
Purple nurple?
Oh, yes.
Bad news, dude. So he says, during his first 3 months in the country, a random 5-year-old did that to me, and I swear I was never so close to punching out a kid as I had been then. I felt violated most of the day. He said, thankfully it was a one-off time, but I heard from teachers who taught kids that they were dong-chimmed regularly. He said one guy told his class after being violated that all the other kids got to do it to his perpetrator, and whichever kid does it the hardest wins a prize. The kid ended up crying, and the teacher was never poop needled again. Yeah.
Goodness.
So you can add the poop needle to your repertoire of stuff, of things.
Guess,
you
yes.
know, you can put that in the junk drawer of your mind
Yeah.
to use
Things to do in 2025.
Well, it's there if you need it. You know, you never know when somebody might need a good poop needling. Hey, what kind of word is that? And I'm still not even sure how you do it. Like, well, I mean, I kind of do, but I'm gonna have to look online to see like in action. Like, do you just aim for the crack or do you aim for the shoot?
I mean. Is it the crack or the
Yeah, the aperture, the orifice. Yeah, the exit. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, yeah, I've
done that.
Excuse me?
To no, I have to, my husband or partners just playfully, right? Like you're going up the stairs and you give them a whoop.
But when you were a little kid, you didn't do it to your teacher?
I didn't do it to my teacher. I'm not going to do it to strangers.
How about your manager at work? Yeah.
No.
Got
I don't think I'm
you.
gonna do- Poop needle.
You're
I
fired.
ran away.
Yeah, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. If you steal one pen. Yeah, man, that's good times in
Wow.
South Korea.
That's quite something.
It is quite something. Those rascally kids, eh? As you know, I used to teach Koreans online. I only had a couple of teenagers. The rest were all adults. But I wish I had known about this then. And they never brought it up. Like, none of them gave me, like, an auditory poop needle. And Mr. No, I can't do that. Yeah. So, that's poop needle, dude.
All right.
Poop needle. Okay, let's try that again.
Brought to you by Mattel.
Yeah, for ages
It's like
5
the
and up.
The new game.
Yeah. Poop needle. That's good.
That's great.
Yeah, it's good times. So it's a nice day out.
It is.
It's blue skies, sunny, which I'm not all that crazy about. I like the gray weather better. Say what you will. And then we're going to go to Piper's.
Yes.
Wing night.
Yes, it is.
And then it's game time.
Wow.
I know, it's like that. So, yeah, I know you got something to say to the people.
Yes, I do.
Let's say it. Come
you
on.
guys should go check out theabsurdpodcast.ca.
Yeah.
You can find our socials there, where you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and the different platforms where you can listen to us.
Yeah, different platforms.
Yeah, go listen. Download them.
Yeah, download
Give us
them.
5 stars, please.
Yeah, and
It
somebody...
takes 2 seconds. 5 stars. Just bloop.
Somebody... Does
Makes that sound,
does
too.
it? Do that again.
Bloop.
Yeah, well done. I actually had someone who wants to give us a rating, but doesn't know how. Now, this is on Spotify, so I'm going to do this real quick. If you go to the top of our page, you'll see a little picture that says following, and then there's a bell shape for notifications. Then there's the gear thingy for settings. Then beside that, there's 3 vertical dots. Click on that. You can then do rate show. And you select rate show, then you give us stars.
Yes, that's it. That's all you got to do.
That's it, dude. So, yes, please do that. Visit our Instagram and Facebook page. If you have a story to suggest, as Scott did, please, absolutely do. I'm not going to absolutely promise you we'll do it, but we're pretty easy. You know, like if it's up our alley, damn right we'll do it. And with your blessing, we will happily give you a shout out.
Yeah, for sure. Please do.
Yeah. I think that's kind of it. Do you
We're
think that
going to
might
be
be
putting
it?
we're going to be putting in a merch order soon.
Oh, yes.
So if anybody wants anything, please send us a message.
Yep.
On
Any of the aforementioned.
any of the aforementioned,
Yep.
or reach
Email
out to Rod
us.
directly or myself. That's fine too.
Yeah, I've got some orders already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Woo.
So we'll be doing that probably in the next week
Yeah.
or so,
Let's do it.
or this weekend.
Let's make
say
it
this
happen.
weekend. So if you want anything, let us know.
Oh, and in sometime in May, watch for our little card flyers in Ireland.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
All
That's all I'm
right.
saying.
Cool.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming by and listening. We hope you take care. Hope you're well. So, yeah, do that thing. You know what thing I'm talking about, Mel?
Do that thing.
Take care of yourselves and each other.
Bye.
Goodbye.
The Absurd Podcast is written, produced, and recorded by Rod and Mel. Music by Audionautics.com.